So,
Oh, we're about to go?
3, 2. So, yeah. And, so yeah, I mean, that's a great story, Cliff. It went really well. So, hey, we're live here at SOLIDWORKS World. We're back with SOLIDWORKS Live in Dallas, Texas. I'm Jeremy Rigneris. I'm the host of SOLIDWORKS Live, but I'm here with Cliff Medling, the host of Born to Design, in this glass cube. Cliff, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're doing in this glass cube?
In this glass cube at SOLIDWORKS World, we actually started this last year. We started with a Born to Design podcast. And so this year we're back again. We're capturing more great customer stories for the Born to Design podcast, yeah.
So we're sharing the same space with the SOLIDWORKS Live booth and the Born to Design booth. We're filming right over there, and we're right in here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we're next door neighbors, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it
So
looks great.
Let's talk a little bit about Born to Design podcast. What's the Born to Design podcast about?
So, through my job at SOLIDWORKS, we had so many, I've had the opportunity to meet with customers, and we have so many great customers. And you and I used to go on customer visits, do videos and stuff, which was outstanding. But, when we do a video with them, we miss some of the story behind the story, right? When you really get to talk to the customers and get more in-depth with the customers, there's a lot of great inspirational stories that we haven't been able to capture. And that's what the SOLIDWORKS Born to Design podcast is all about. It's really about capturing those great stories.
So instead of those 3-minute marketing pieces where we highlight a customer, you actually get the opportunity to sit down and really hear what they're doing that's really significant in their field.
And how they're inspiring others, how they're part of their community, their design community, and there's just wonderful people who are using design and tools to really make this world a better place,
So you've been doing this for about a year now.
Right.
You've heard some great stories from customers. What's an example of one of these customer stories that you really like?
We had a great story today. I've got a podcast with Dean Kamen coming out in a few weeks, which is going to be, I'm really excited about. But my favorite story may still be the first one, where I interviewed Christian Bagg. He's a great guy. He was a machinist, and he was a real outdoorsman. And he broke his back on an accident, and he found himself in a wheelchair. And he's like, these wheelchairs, they're awful. So he decided he's going to make his own wheelchair and design his own. He built a whole corporation around that. Plus, he also works with companies. He has his own organization that helps companies design retrofit wheelchairs for children to help them get outdoors. So I don't want to share the whole story, but Christian's just a great guy, and it's just a fabulous podcast because of him. So that's one of my best stories. But there's just all kinds of stories. We have stories about how the SOLIDWORKS forum had changed SOLIDWORKS software. We try to go at every angle. So a lot of great. I've had the chance to really get to know people better through the podcast. And I hope, my hope is that when people listen to the podcast, they get to understand our customers a little more in depth as well.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say one of the most rewarding parts of working for SOLIDWORKS is seeing what our customers do, how they leverage our software, how they're making an impact on the world around them. And I think these stories are a great way to explore those in more detail.
Absolutely.
So we're here at SOLIDWORKS World in this booth, and what a great place to cultivate thousands of customers to hear these incredible stories from people.
Yeah, it's SOLIDWORKS World, as you know, is like-minded people who are doing great things in design. So it's the best opportunity to capture several. I'm hoping to get 10 or 12 new podcast stories, this week. And I also wanted to mention, if you haven't seen the podcast, go to solidworks.com/podcast. I think there's 9 of them out there. There's the 10th one coming out in a couple weeks. So,
okay. So tell the folks who are watching at home where they can find out about the podcast. Say they want to tune in and listen. Where do they go find that information?
So all of them are. If you just type in solidworks.com/podcast, you can listen to them there. Also, on your mobile device, whatever you use for listening to podcasts, just type in SOLIDWORKS. Look for the Born to Design, and it should show up. So.
All right, Cliff, you've always been the man behind the microphone.
Okay.
Now you get to be the man on the camera.
I'm not as comfortable as you in front of the camera, I think. So.
That's all right. So if you're interested in learning about the podcast, can folks come to you here at SOLIDWORKS World and tell you about a great story they might have?
Absolutely. I'm here at the booth, or you could go to solidworks.com YouTube.com/podcast stories and enter your story, and I'll be checking those out. I get a notification. So, yeah.
All right, Cliff, thanks so much for joining us here today. This was an impromptu SolidWorks live session we really want to do, where we're going to be showing a lot more content throughout the rest of the week. So stay tuned. Make sure if you're on Facebook, you like the page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to us, or if you're using the SolidWorks World app, go ahead and stay logged into that, and you'll get notified whenever we're going live. Until next